Hey friends, Psychic Healer Stacy here. I wanted to come on and talk about scammers for a few minutes, okay? So a couple things that I want to point out about scammers is that they, in this particular field, when you do readings, when you do mediumship or any of that, they definitely are very prevalent in this particular field, okay? But there are scammers everywhere, right? That goes without saying. But I wanted to point out a couple things. So number one, when you're in a live stream, there is a chance that there is a scammer in the feed, right? In the chat along with you. I'm not trying to make anybody paranoid, but I want to make you aware that, because I have seen it before where people will give their first and last name, and sometimes I've seen where people will give their full date of birth with a year, okay? So please don't do things like that. A, the reader doesn't need that information, and B, we don't want that information. But you also have to be aware that there is a chance that there's a scammer in the chat, okay? Number two, excuse me, I want you to be cognizant of how you're presenting yourself in those rooms, okay? So A, you never should be giving the reader personal information about you, okay? But also be careful about, I have seen in chats before where people are everywhere, are going through it, I'm going through it right with you. We all have our moments, right? But when you let everybody know how vulnerable you are, if there's a scammer in there, the chances of them targeting you are very high, right? So be aware of how much of that you share as well, just to protect yourself. I don't want to make people worried and scared to be in rooms and not enjoy themselves, but I want you to be aware of what scammers are looking for, right? That's how they scam people. They prey on their vulnerabilities. I can't talk. Because you've heard that before, right? We've heard that before, where there will be people that will come in trying to discredit myself, and I've seen it in other ones as well, and say that we're scamming. A good ethical reader will never reach out to you to try and solicit you for a reading, whether it be in your DM or if they're also in the chat. I've seen that before as well, where they're just telling you, hey, follow me, blah, blah, blah. That's another scammer. So be careful out there, have fun, but be smart about the information that you are putting in the chat for everybody to see. All right? Be safe out there, have fun, have a good night.